Hello, everybody.
What is that? That like ha 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 ha. What was that weird laugh that
Where?
the giant did? It was that a little Three Stooges.
Yeah.
I voiced that.
And what are we talking about?
One Piece.
We're talking about One Piece.
Dead giveaway right down here, right?
Yeah.
I'm excited because we're in the Arabasta arc, and so we're like heading into our second arc of all time. It's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the third story arc in the Arabasta saga, and I think the 9th one overall in the whole series. So
Yeah.
we're getting into we're past the very beginning stage, and now we're kind of in the advanced beginner stage.
Right.
Or 101.1.
Exactly.
Now.
And with this show, with the anime version of the show, we talked about the live action Netflix show a while back, but now we're way beyond that. We're in the anime.
We're experts now.
Yeah, we've gone beyond what we saw in the live action show. We're now like so far into the show that it just gets weirder and weirder and more bizarre and fun and funny, and just it's a surreal sort of psychedelic show.
It is. It's very surreal. But I thought Luffy was a little more adorable and cute. I thought he had a little harder edge in this arc that I didn't really particularly like. I'm hoping that he kind of comes out of this because he seemed a little more heartless and greedy, and I mean he always kind of is, but there was sort of a kind of warmth behind it. Now I'm not seeing that. This arc they kind of threw a little bit of that away.
I felt like he was kind of learning some stuff earlier in some of the earlier episodes. Like he was that kind of carefree, like whatever, it'll work, everything will be fine. And he was kind of being hit occasionally by little bits of reality. Like there was things that were genuinely bad, and he was it's almost like he was kind of realizing, like the whole thing with Nami. It was like he was realizing how serious things were for Nami. And it was almost like you're seeing Luffy kind of grow up from being a real kid to being more like an older kid, where he's realizing people can get hurt if I'm not careful. And
teenager.
Yeah.
But also could it be just like, we have different writers.
Okay. My thought is that it's, as we're getting into the 70th or 80th episodes, certainly characters change, but I get this feeling that, when you have so many people writing a show, that of course there's going to be differences, and I just think that's natural, and that's okay. But this arc has a different sort of feel than the other ones. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Like it feels a little bit, I don't know if meaner is the right word, or just a little bit more dark, or
it definitely
less
has a
likable.
And there's sort of out of character type stuff too, like. And I felt like it kind of started back at the Whiskey Peak arc when Luffy went nuts on Zoro.
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah.
It's like before that, we saw how loyal he was to his friends. When Nami, when it appeared that Nami betrayed them, Luffy had faith in her, and he knew that wasn't her. And he was determined that, no, that's not her. I trust her. I know that she wouldn't do that. But then later, when he sees, when he imagines, it's a long story, but when he imagines that Zoro has killed all these villagers at Whiskey Peak, he goes nuts he doesn't give him a second chance. He just jumps and tries to literally kill his friend,
Yeah, and I felt like he would have before kind of stopped to clarify, make sure before, but then again, Luffy's very impulsive. And he tends to just do and say whatever he wants, but it kind of it tended to magnify in this episode, I thought. Like this arc. Like he the whole let's get meat and all the animals are big. Let's get meat. I didn't love the idea of Zoro and Sanji going out there and just killing animals for the sake of having a ton of meat they could never even eat. Like
a competition. It's like
didn't like it. And nobody wants to see dinosaurs getting killed. Nobody. So I didn't understand the appeal of even making that. I mean, I know it's part of the manga, but it just felt like, and thank goodness, I guess the difference between the manga and the anime, they cut away some of the more graphic violence against the dinosaurs. Thank you for that. even there was still way too much. But it did seem weird. They were, especially they're killing dinosaurs that are so beloved, like the brontosaurus, and then the one with 3 horns, the triceratops. Everybody loves a triceratops.
I know, they're so peaceful.
So that just seemed like, I don't know. I didn't quite understand. That felt a little off-putting to me, but I just kind of got through that. But they kept dragging the bodies around. I'm like, quit showing that.
I know, blood. It's like,
yeah, they're on this island. They're on this island, Little Garden.
That's right.
This island. They
and it sounds adorable, right?
Yeah,
let's go to the island called Little Garden.
And it's definitely not little. In fact,
little.
there are these 2 giants. Dory and Brogy, who are sort of in this 100-year battle, and they've forgotten why they're actually fighting.
Right.
Which is actually an important point, because a lot of people don't know why they're fighting anymore.
Yeah.
So just say that. Okay, go ahead. Proceed.
Yeah, no, and so they're fighting, and then I think some of the members of our group, find that honorable, and they want to sort of be like that, which is also another off-putting thing. Okay, I get honor, I get it, but you're actually trying to hurt each other, kill each other. That's not something to aspire to.
Yeah,
or the idea that you're just fighting because of honor, and you're not fighting because of any reason. You're not defending yourself. You're not fighting for a good. You're not fighting against evil or fighting for justice or the righteous thing, the good thing.
Right.
You're just fighting, and you're fighting
for the sake of fighting.
You're fighting someone that you hate because you feel like you're supposed to hate them.
Yeah.
You've grown up hating them, and you've learned to hate them, but you've forgotten why you hate them. And that to me sounds like bigotry, but
it sounds like bigotry.
Well, but yeah, Usopp in this is watching him, and he's like, "Wow, this is the most awesome thing I've ever seen. They're fighting because of honor. What a great, that's the kind of warrior I want to be."
All right, and yet he and Nami are sitting on the ship because they're afraid to go on the island.
Right,
so that they were actually the smart ones ultimately.
Right.
On the ship.
But it ended up everyone ended up going. Everybody was afraid, but eventually one by one they just go.
And they were all kind of split up too, which was I like when they're together as a crew doing things together. They play off of each other really well. And the bickering between I feel like I'm being too hard on this arc, but we'll talk about things kind of bug.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Sanji and Zoro bickering and then killing animals over it was super annoying to me. Like I first of all, the bickering is kind of funny, and then this one just became maniacal, and I didn't love it. So I'm hoping that just kind of tones itself down ultimately. I like their bickering to a point, but not to this extent. It felt like you said a little out of character in a way, especially for Sanji. I don't know.
I wonder if it's like, since this, at this point when they were producing this show, like they don't know how long it's going to go.
Right.
So they want to change the characters, but they're also thinking, hey, we're going to make this as interesting and different and weird as we go along through this. So maybe we do an arc where the characters aren't quite as lovable. Maybe they'll get sick of all the lovable stuff. We'll bring in some hard edge stuff, and then we'll go back. I mean, who knows what the next
and they are harnessed story manga. It's like the manga. That.
But just weird choices. Weird story.
Yeah, it was
weird choice. If you really want to care about characters, you want them to do things that you kind of agree with.
Don't kill dinosaurs.
Right. And I guess in different cultures, there's a different culture about hunting, and some people, I mean, certainly lots of people throughout the history of mankind have had to go out and kill animals to eat, and
of course
it's a part of the history and all that. So I guess in some cultures it's still considered a normal thing to do, to go out and
but this seemed like killing for the sake of killing.
They're not eating.
And they're dinosaurs. Like, take a minute to go, whoa, we're seeing dinosaurs. This is amazing. That's what I would have been.
But maybe honor. Go ahead.
It's like that realization that hits you as you get older and you watch King Kong again for, as an adult. When you're a kid, you're watching, it's a big adventure, and
he's a monster.
Then as you get older, you're like, God, there's a Stegosaurus walking around. The guy just shot it in the head with a gun, but it was in those days, the big game hunters, the guys who would go to Africa with rifles and kill elephants, were considered to be like heroics or something.
Yeah.
Yes, the worst people in the world.
Yeah, no, that's the way it was back then.
Yeah, it was stupid.
But maybe the fact that honor usurps everything.
Yeah.
Like whatever the honor is, even if it's misguided honor, in this feels like that's the top thing. Honor above all else. And I just don't agree with that, because you could be honorable towards the Führer. That doesn't work
exactly.
for me.
Or
what I mean? So
but then in contrast to that, we have the Baroque works. And I love their character design was hilarious. Like, I just
always
love, like, in contrast to what they were doing, we have this like, hello, would you like some tea? Yes, I would like some tea. Would you like a cracker? A little cracker. She's this little cute. I love the little sound of the cracker. Look.
Yeah.
It was like so funny. And so I loved that contrast, even though they were technically the bad guys. But see, that's what was so funny. They were the bad guys, but I feel like our Straw Hats and them were acting way worse. Not ultimately.
Well, they're bounty hunters.
Like
they were there to get. There's like 100 million berry bounty on the heads of those giants. So they're there to kill the giants and cut their heads off.
Yeah.
And we had Mr. Five, Miss Valentine, Miss Golden Week, and Miss Golden Week.
I love those names. I'm going to name some of my next chickens after some of the characters on the show.
That's smart. That's smart. Well, my two favorites
are Mr. 13 and Miss Friday, the unluckies.
Oh, I love them so much.
Yeah, Mr. 13 is a little otter who's wearing like footy pajamas with little ears, and he's got these sunglasses on.
Sketching.
And his friend Miss Friday is actually a vulture, and the two of them kind of just show up, and they're so mysterious. They don't really talk, and he's got this shell that he's like. It's kind of like and he can draw really good.
He's a good drawer.
Yeah, there's no lack of creativity in all. It's incredible. It's
amazing.
If we're complaining, we come across as complaining too much. It's more just some of the story choices or some of the character choices.
I mean, ultimately, still super entertaining. Entertaining. Yeah. I wish there'd been a little more awe about being on an island with dinosaurs, a little more of that versus like just kill some and have some meat. That would have been cooler to me to have them being like amazed by the scene they were in. But I did love the new characters, Karu and Vivi.
Yeah,
Princess Vivi.
Oh
Princess
God,
Vivi, yeah. And
I love them.
Karu,
I thought they did a good job with that. It was very cute.
Yeah.
She's along for the
ride with the Straw Hats right now. They're trying to get her back to her kingdom, I guess.
Well, I'd like to see too, kind of like, what's wrong with these people? Like, she's kind of like this sort of outsider point of view. Like, why do they act like this? And Nami's like, just ignore them. They always do this.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I enjoyed that little girl time on the boat.
But it felt like a lot of, they killed that giant goldfish. There was a lot of killing of big animals.
Right after the whale thing where they saved it. But then again, Luffy was super mean to the whale for a while, but for a good reason.
He's like beating the whale up.
But he wants the whale to go back into the wild and not be in danger when the entrance to the
strange relationship with animals in the show. It's interesting and disturbing, but I guess it's just a part of the vibe of the sort of wild frontier idea of the show. They're not they're kind of like outside of society. They're not part of a civilization or anything. They're just sort of on their own in this wild frontier, I guess, and that's a part of it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's just my sensitivity to animal stuff. I'm just a wimp when it comes to animal stuff. So, but ultimately, you just sort of try not to worry too much and enjoy the other stuff, but there was a ton to enjoy in this. I mean,
even if you weren't so sensitive about that, the fact that you're going in and just killing dinosaurs for meat is just off-putting to almost everybody, unless you're a dinosaur bounty hunter. It just doesn't seem to be very endearing quality. That's all. True.
So then the other part of the story I thought was kind of entertaining was when they all get kind of possessed by the waxing effect, I guess they call it. That was funny. I loved the design too. I like where their hair would be kind of in front of their eyes, but there's this darkness. Yeah, and they looked all maniacal. I thought that was a really cool idea. and they kept trying to get out of it, and they kept getting back into it, and it was a cool idea. Yeah. I thought that was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's got some some good stuff. But I'm kind of like really ready for the next arc. You know, I want to get away from the dinosaur killing.
I was glad when they left.
Yeah.
No, I think it's like it was a little bit of a, you know, let's move on to something where there's not as much killing of animals. You know,
kill the creepy rogue people and leave the animals out of it.
Yeah. we still have about 1,900 episodes left. So maybe, you know, we'll see what happens.
We have a ways to go for it to recover.
Yeah. Right.
I know, it's pretty. So by the end, so I guess what happened in the end? So we have
the giants lose their weapons, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they kill that goldfish, whatever they call the island eater, right? And then they just take off. They move on to.
Well, we had the Marines kind of came back into it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So we get to see them again, which I was glad to see because it's been a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, we start getting a little bit more of the smoker, Mr. Smoker. Starts coming back, or smoker. I don't know, Mr. or officer. What is he? Smoker. He's kind of coming back into it, kind of, you know, filling in the gaps and trying to figure out who's on whose team. I thought that was kind of interesting.
I think he's going to become a bigger character too, because I think he is the guy we see in the very, very, very end of the live action, the Netflix One Piece show.
He had all the cigars.
Someone else, but it was like, you know, he's got like cigar. Yeah, he's got like a bandolier of cigars. So I think it's Smoker.
It's got to be. I mean, who smokes that many cigars except Smoker? I mean, seriously.
Nobody. Smoker smokes.
So I thought it was a fun arc in some ways, and then a really hard to watch arc in other ways. I'm a little bothered. I guess there's a bug bite that's going to affect Nami in the next arc. I just saw some.
She's sick
about that. Yeah, so she's
but
gonna be
apparently
take the woman out of the picture. We're gonna go into just having boys club for a while.
But evidently, it causes Luffy to realize that they need a doctor on the ship, and the doctor character that they get. I don't want to spoilers for future episodes, but another major character and a super cute character, like overly cute.
Good.
Overly cute.
Yeah,
an overly cute character will be the doctor.
Yeah, the doctor is a very cute little character.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
I'm gonna have to get a T-shirt.
Oh, cool.
This new character. Now I can't wait. Yeah. So what is our next arc, Burke?
I don't know. What is the next arc?
Oh, sorry.
You asked me a tricky question.
Hold on. Yeah.
What is the next arc? It's a long one.
The next one's called the Drum Island arc.
Drum Island. It has,
and that's a lot of episodes. I think it's like, it's 14 episodes. So
all right.
Twice as long as this one.
We gotta get started early. Like we're trying to take our time with this. I know you guys probably we're not just churning these out because we all really want to watch it, and it takes a while. We don't want to just fast forward through it. So we're trying to really pay attention and look at it. So we will get to this next arc. But also, Burke has another podcast you definitely should take a look at while we're here.
Yes.
What is it?
Well, I've watched every episode, and I highly recommend it. Burke, go ahead. It's about his kumquat tree.
Hear what you have to say about it. It's another podcast that I'm doing about music.
Well, Burke is a musician. You know, he was in bands. He plays guitar. He plays bass.
He writes our theme music.
All the music here on Cinemondo is courtesy of Burke Sauls. And so he knows a lot. He's got an incredible album collection. You know, every album is in a plastic sleeve, which blows me away. And they're all like, and so if you want to know anything about music,
CDs are in plastic. I've told people to get rid of their little plastic envelopes for their CDs.
So cool.
And you can you can fit so many more.
So if you love music, and whether it's stuff from the 70s, 80s, or older, or whatever, or jazz, or different genres, Burke talks about everything from the Talking Heads to soundtracks to Burt Bacharach to bands you've never heard of, and so it's real. And some new stuff. So really entertaining. He knows his stuff. And the name of the podcast, Burke? I don't want to get it wrong.
Dazed and Confused.
confusing and ambiguous, because that's what talking about music is. You can never pin it down. You can't ever give an opinion that's universal. You can't. It's always ambiguous. And when you talk about how music works and why it works, and why certain music is great and other music is terrible, there's no reason. So
when are you doing your Taylor Swift episode? I think that would be a huge one.
Yeah, well, she won't call me back.
Well,
I don't.
She's a phenomenon.
I just finished watching the 3-part episode on Two Live Crew, which I thought was really fascinating.
Oh, nice.
Just kidding. No, the Confusing and Ambiguous podcast. Please subscribe to it. Watch the videos. It's really entertaining. And, even if you don't know a lot about music, I'm actually learning something.
Yeah, I'm learning by watching it. So it's very cool.
So congratulations, Burke. That's good stuff.
Thanks. And also, I have to mention how cool my commenters are over there. I have so many people that watch it and comment, and it's like become sort of a little community over there, like the Cinemondo community. So, and I think people who like the Cinemondo podcast will like that too, because I kind of go into the same types of discussions about, like, I try to get a little philosophical when I can, and like underneath the surface of why movies work and why music works and things like that. But anyway, enough about that.
Yeah, but but it was a good point about the community, because I love this One Piece community. That's one of the biggest reasons I want to keep doing this, is because I love people talking about One Piece and telling us about what it means to them and explaining their viewpoints on it. I love it. It's the same with the movies. I love talking to people about movies. The community is one of the main reasons we do this.
It's the best thing about it. The best thing about having a podcast is the people.
Yeah, we love reading the comments and replying to them. And also, we should just mention about if you haven't become a member of our YouTube channel, this is for what you can get for $2.99. You get all that stuff in the yellow. For an extra $2, you get the member. You can request videos and we can talk about them. And there's
videos you don't even know exist because they're private.
I know we do a lot of private stuff. So I'll watch a movie that nobody else wants to watch. So
for the really private stuff, you go to our OnlyFans. But for this,
yes,
there's no OnlyFans.
No. It's so think about it. It keeps the lights on and keeps us going that
really
way.
Helps.
And there's a lot of other stuff on there that I talk about movies that these two might not want to sit through. And I just did The Exorcist Believer, so that's a little tasty treat.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah,
I said it was a great review though. I loved it.
It was fun. So anyway.
It's very cool too when I see the comments and people who've been members for a while. The badge changes colors, like the C changes colors. You can see these long term. I love seeing that. It just warms my heart.
Yeah, this is a labor of love, and when you guys do that, sort of reciprocate in that way, it gives us more motivation to keep doing it. So thanks very much.
So once we get through our 1,000 episodes of One Piece, we're going to need suggestions for the next anime we're going to talk about. So. Don't get piled on right this second, because we got a ways to go. But
my daughter has some ideas too.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks, you guys.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.
Bye.